Greetings. This is Arvette McLean of Speak, the Universe Listens.
We cherish that. We love that particular piece of it because it
Teach people like, hey, it's okay. Change.
New ways to view age-old challenges. Change your thoughts, change your life. Step into the bigness of you. Greetings and welcome to today's episode of Speak, the Universe Listens. And today's topic is transcending your current reality. And I have Rodney joining me.
Hey.
And Steven.
Hey.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
So this topic of transcending your current reality. So often we define ourselves and we confine ourselves based on what we see when we look around us. But we really want to start shifting how we define ourselves based on a future vision that we have for ourselves. And a lot of times we are confined because of things that have happened in the past, or it could be, current things like maybe we feel like we don't have enough money, we don't have enough time, we don't have a support system, and the list can go on as to all the reasons why we can't accomplish whatever it is that we might have a dream for. Mm-hmm. But so many of our heroes, they had faced traumatic situations, and then yet they were able to overcome them because they were able to see a vision of something different.
I totally agree with you. I can say at one time, I sit back, I hold the past, like I let it define who I was, and I couldn't really get past that level just because of what I was so used to, and I knew what I wanted for myself. So I really had to make the necessary steps to be like, you know what you want. Focus on what it is that you want, and just start to really shift into it and act like like you already have it already. And after a while, my old reality, what I used to tell myself, started to fade away. So it's almost like shifting gears. Every once in a while, I went back. I had that thought pop in my head real quick, and I'm like, all right, that's not you. That's not what you want. So zoom back in and focus on what it is that you want. So I would say it's something that's if you walk like you got it already, if you just step into it and just know that you already where you want to be at, things will shift. You won't think about the past or define yourself from your past.
I think a lot of times we hold on to the struggle, the pain, the fear we have, because we think that's what defines us. We like all those things that happened to me made me who I am today, instead of focusing on what we want in life and seeing that.
It does. That's funny because I think you and I might have been just talking about that. How I had come to a point in my life where I was like, I know if I let go of my story, I can move to the next level.
Right.
But I wasn't ready to let go of my story. And I'm just like, if I let go of all this junk that's happened, then who am I? Like, because that defined me for so long. I defined myself as someone who was a victim, as someone who was abused, as someone whose wings got clipped, as someone who can't because I'm too afraid, as someone who's too shy to do anything, as someone who has no confidence. That's how I defined myself for so long. But even in that description of that, I felt like because of those things, I had a lot of beautiful traits that blossomed out of that. So I was like, because of those things, I'm just one of the most compassionate people. I'm caring.
Right.
Because of those things, I'm strong. Because of those things, I'm smart. And so I was like, am I willing to give up all of that for the unknown?
And you know what's so funny? I think about it now. Like I used to, had low confidence in myself. Somebody telling me what I couldn't do, or how are you able to do that? And so for years, I told myself, what I couldn't do, or what I thought I couldn't do. And it came from, growing up, just not having the best of things and always wanting more. So being around that, I just got used to, when I got into adulthood, I'm like, oh man, the struggle, the poverty mindset, and that's how I was thinking. And I really surrounded myself with people, not just with an abundant mindset, but like where I wanted to be, where I envisioned myself. Because that's one thing that really helped me out a lot, because it was like, it changed my whole view, as to where it was like, I could say to myself, before I even decided to get my business license, I thought I couldn't do that. I thought, I'm thinking about so much of what I had to go through, the struggle, and so forth and so forth. But after a while, it was like somebody said, it's not hard. It's like, it's not hard. You can do it. And just having that motivation, that support, really sort of shifted my gears for me, made things happen. Because I think that sometimes people think in life things are hard for them, and you don't have the right support system, and people just trying to push you in the direction of where you're trying to go. It sort of put a little hindrance to what you're trying to accomplish. And I think when you, like I said, you just sort of have faith in yourself. Number one, have some faith in yourself, and surround yourself with people who want to see you just succeed and strive. That will help you a lot.
I think a lot of times we celebrate the struggle.
Right.
Like, we love the story of the person that came from nothing and,
right.
and got something now. Like, we celebrate the struggle too much instead of, and we hold on to those things. I went through this, and now look at me. And,
right.
Instead of keep on focusing on what we do want and the things we do want and the abundance we want and things we want out of life. Yeah, so you just gotta let go of those stories and step into what you want to be, and be that now.
Yes, and like listening to people who have struggled and have been successful in spite of it, or maybe because of it.
Right.
I think those stories are so wonderful as far as being able to inspire us. Because if you think about, Nelson Mandela, he's in prison. How does he become? He's in prison for 27 years.
Yeah.
How does he become the president of the same country that he was imprisoned in? Or, Harriet Tubman, this big, making 19 trips.
Right.
And even our current day Oprah Winfrey, who's molested for years, abused for years, had a baby at the age of 14, baby died. Like, how do you shift from that mindset to, I can be the president, I can bring 300 people to freedom, I can be the world's first female billionaire, like, how do you shift into that mindset? And like, for me, I remember just really thinking about that, just giving it some thought, like, how did that happen? And for some reason, it was like I could see or feel Harriet, and I could see and feel Nelson Mandela. I could see their dream, like the vision that they had for themselves. And I'm like, okay, they had a vision, and then they ordered their steps towards that vision. They didn't know how.
Right.
But they had a vision. They dared to have a vision, and like you had made the comment that sometimes it's things that people want to do, but they just don't know how to do it. But I would even go so far as to say a lot of times we don't know what we want to do. We just go through the motions of life, never even daring to have a dream.
I think I was there one time. Didn't know what I wanted to do, and just really didn't have no type of guidance in the direction that I really wanted to go. But it was like a process. Things started to change slowly but surely, and then before I knew it, I just took a second and I just thought about it. I'm like, dang, I'm here now. I remember when I was like, here, nowhere close to how what I'm doing now. So, for most things, the beautiful thing about it is when you don't think about it, and I can say for myself, when you have faith in yourself and you just believe. You don't know how it's going to get done. Every day you're working towards it. And when you're doing that, you'll be surprised like how far you come, because it's just going to take that one time. That's where you're just going to sit back and you're going to think to yourself like, wow. Okay, I see how far I made it,
How many people we know that was like down bad and they made a way, or was gonna come up short for a bill this month and made a way, or something was gonna happen and they made a way. Right. What I always say is, if we it's something we tap into when we do that, and if we tapped into that every day with everything we want, look at what you can have.
That's very true.
So it's like we know how to tap into that without even thinking about it. If you think about it and envision it, what you want every day, you can have anything you want.
Yeah, and I like that example too, because that's one thing I noticed as a kind of young person. Is like, if I don't have what I need, right? So let's say if I need $50 to pay this bill, and I'm like, I don't have $50, but I got to pay the bill. Some kind of way that $50 will show up, then I'm like, okay, now I need a $500. Like, where's that going to come from? Wow. But then the $500 will some kind of way show up. And so I started saying, well, if whatever I need, it shows up, then maybe I should start needing bigger.
There you go.
But the potential for it was always there.
It was always there. It's always there.
Right.
And one thing, like, a lot of times we think we have to depend on ourselves, like our physical self. And we forget that we are so much more than this physical body. Because it's like, most people kind of feel like we came from somewhere. Like, we were part of source energy or God, or people have some type of feeling like we came from somewhere, spirit. Then we come into this physical body, and then we go back into spirit. But we still spirit, right? So we live in a physical existence as well as a non-physical existence at the same time. And so we only think about what we can perceive through our physical senses, what we can see, what we can touch, taste, feel. But it's so much more that exists right here and right now that we're not able to see, feel, touch, taste, hear. Well, I think we can feel it, but touch, taste, hear, and so we think it doesn't exist. And so one thing that you'll hear Stephen say all the time is, you got this now. And if I were on the other side, or when I was on the other side and not understanding that, and somebody's like, you got it now, and I'm like, no, I don't.
Right, exactly.
No, I don't. Did you check my bank account? But basically what Stephen is alluding to when he says that is, it already exists here for us. We just have to tap into it. We just have to be on the same vibration, on the frequency, in order to make it come into physical existence. It's already here for us right now. But we tend to push it away. We have resistance. We don't believe that it's here, that type of thing, and therefore it stays in this realm where we can't see it, taste it, touch it.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't see it for ourselves. Like some people be like, yeah, that look nice, but I ain't gonna never go there, or that's nice, but I ain't gonna never have that. But a lot of times we don't see it for ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you don't see it for yourself, then it's like, you know, you never going to see it. But the crazy thing is, it's like the universe has so much of what it is that we want, and it's like right there, and they're just sitting back looking at us like, just waiting on you. just waiting on you. So but tapping into that faith part of just believing, it's almost like, you know, and I had somebody give me this example, just thinking about when you were younger and you know what it was that you wanted to do when you got older, right? But you knew when you were in school you were going to graduate. And then when it comes to that time for graduation, you graduated. You knew you was going to get that car when you were 13 years old. Eventually you knew you were going to be driving. You didn't know what you were going to be driving, but you know you was going to get your license. And you just so happened to get your license. You started driving. So we think about these things way ahead of time. So if we had that same mind frame, like just on a regular basis of what you were saying before, man, things will come. We just have to sit back, speak it. You speak it, you put it out there, have that faith and knowing that it's just gonna come, and then it's just gonna come to you. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be today, but eventually it's gonna come though.
Yeah, one of my favorite sayings is walk by faith and not by sight.
I like that.
Yeah, it just, we gotta do that.
And that's kind of like what you were saying reminds me of something Deepak Chopra said.
Yeah.
He said, birds don't try to fly, they just fly. You know, grass doesn't try to grow, it just grows. And, you know, just by the same token, if it was a pencil sitting right there on the table and you wanted it, you would just pick it up. You wouldn't be like, I'm going to try to pick this pencil up.
Yeah, you're going to pick it up. Yeah, right.
You just pick it up. And so it's like taking that mindset and putting it into everything. That just as easy as it is to pick up that pencil, it's just that easy to manifest your dream as well. Like if you know it, you're not trying to do it, it's already here for you. And but one of the reasons, one of the ways that we tend to block it and not be able to see it is because we're not happy with where we are right now. And so we're operating from a place of lack and limitation. So and separation, because we don't realize our connection to all that is. So to me, that's number one. If you don't know your connection, it's going to be hard to manifest stuff that's already out there. So recognizing I'm connected to all of this, all that's mine. But no, I'm connected to everything, for one. But then two, to see where you are and really see it as a blessing. Because I know for so long, I am probably 99% of the population, like all the junk stuff that's happened, we've seen it as something bad that happened to us, against us. But really, if we can shift that focus into, this happened for me, this happened for my benefit, this happened to enhance me. And so if you change how you're looking at it, then that's half the battle right there. So it's just accepting where you are and then flowing appreciation to where you are. So that is the whole way that you start raising your vibration and you stop blocking what's out there. And I think Wayne Dyer kind of popularized this phrase, this saying when he says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change.
I love it.
I like that.
I love it. But that's very true though. When you change the way that you look at things, things will change. I mean, for me, it happened for myself. When I learned that, it was like, okay, all right, let me change my perception of how I view things. You know, and what you were saying, showing gratitude, like. Every day, you know, now I wake up in the morning time and I get up and I exercise, and then after I'm finished, I take a little walk, you know, and it's just my me time, and I'm just in my thoughts, and I'm just thinking to myself like, wow, you know, I'm in nature, I'm I'm beyond grateful for what I have. You know, I woke up today. I'm just thinking of everything that I'm grateful for, and it sort of puts me in a space of like, what am I lacking? You know, I have abundance, you know, and so I think that when we try to sit back and recognize a little bit more of what we're grateful for, then that will sort of shift our perspective a bit.
Another thing on that and changing the way you see things, I would tell people you can practice doing that daily. Like
Sure.
if you're driving, somebody cut you off or something,
Right.
instead of getting mad, just say, "Oh, they're in a rush somewhere."
Right.
Or somebody give you attitude today, well, they having a rough day. Like, don't take it personal. Like, just changing the way you see small things like that can become big for you.
Very true.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I enjoyed this conversation. To me, these conversations are never long enough.
We talk for hours.
Yes. But thank you for joining me. Hopefully you guys took something out of it, and basically in a summation I would say that the consensus is just to remember that you're part of something bigger than what it seems like, and we can tap into that source. Everything is already here for us. We just have to stop blocking the resistance, and they gave you wonderful ways to stop blocking and to start practicing just seeing things from a different perspective. So yeah, hope you guys can put that into place. And again, practice, practice, practice. Until next time, guys, this is Arvette.
This is Rodney.
Steve.
Bye-bye.
Bye.